Here is the sequel to the previous video, action of turmeric plus detergent.
Hello ma'am. Hello.
We have a problem here.
Okay.
This curcumin oil is giving a pink color.
Okay.
We put it out usually in the sun and then it vanishes.
Okay.
So what happens when, how does that happen?
First of all, we have to understand that why it is having a yellow color and why it is having a red color.
Right. So that's the property.
Yes, the thing is, whatever color we see is actually the color that is reflected by a body. Right?
The body doesn't have any, it's not an inherent property of the body.
No, it has property of reflecting the color.
Reflecting the color.
Yes. If I say that this appearing red or it is black, the light when it falls on any particular object, light has got all the 7 colors.
White light.
A white light, yes. Now somebody has the capability of reflecting some part of the spectrum.
Some objects.
And some body has got capability of absorbing all the colors. Right? So
that's how we perceive color.
Exactly. If it is black, that means it is absorbing all the colors, all the 7 colors which is falling on it.
Okay.
If it is white, that means it is reflecting all the colors.
It's reflecting all the colors.
Absolutely. And if it is red, it means it is absorbing all the color except red, which it is reflecting.
And our eye perceives it as
That
a
is,
color.
yeah, that is the reflected part that is coming inside our retina, and then the signal goes on to the brain, which interprets the color, and we see the color in that form. This is the simple part of the looking at the colors.
Alright.
Now, if I talk about the turmeric over here, where we are having a curcumin type of things, which is yellowish in color. This has a compound which is curcumin, which has the characteristic of just reflecting the yellow part of the spectrum and absorbing all that.
Or it absorbs
Yes.
all the other colors which are there
Except
in white light.
Right.
So it is absorbing blue, green,
Every other color
indigo,
except yellow.
Except yellow,
Yes.
it is absorbing all that.
Absolutely. Now, when it has formed curcumin oil, because it is a different compound or structure, now its character has changed. Now its capability of absorbing is of yellow color is not there. It has taken a characteristic of reflecting red color.
Reflecting red color.
Earlier it was reflecting yellow color, which was curcumin. And now curcuminite has a power of reflecting red color. That's why it is appearing red in color.
So just this one change of one atom of hydrogen
Right.
going from here and combining with the oxygen there, it combines here and we are left with only one hydrogen here in the within the structure. Within the structure
Yes. See the whole of the character of the compound has changed. That means the compound has earlier the capability of reflecting yellow. Now it has the capability of reflecting the red. So,
and just
one
yes,
you can see.
atom, or is it one proton?
See, ma'am, hydrogen is generally the proton only. Right,
It
because
is just the proton.
yes, because
So
hydrogen.
one proton is so important.
Ma'am, maybe because we are only talking about one of this, it is having a chain. So you are having in a sample we have got a
No,
millions
that's
of
alright. That's alright. But at the molecular level,
Yes.
in one molecule,
Right.
this is happening and it is replicated in all the molecules.
Obviously,
So
ma'am.
there are of course
a slight change in our the DNA structure changes the whole of the human body, the functioning of the body. The same way, if you are changing a simple element or any compound or molecule, it will definitely change the character of the whole of this body is.
So let me understand this. While it was in this form, it was edible.
Yes.
It had medicinal values.
Right.
Now it has become a different compound
Right.
It is not edible anymore, maybe. We have not tried.
I also have not tried any time.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and it loses its medical value also, I assume this.
Yes.
That one hydrogen is so important.
See the yes. Yes, it is making a difference. Yes. Making a
Right,
difference.
right. So then what happens is that once we get this, which is showing, it could be a different shade of red, it could be maroonish, as we saw in this.
Ma'am, actually the red color has a range of the wavelength.
Yes.
It's not a particular, but suppose you go to the market, you find different shade of red colors, blue colors. So this color has a range of wavelength. Our eyes can see the wavelength from 400 nanometers to 750 nanometers.
And we can make that difference.
So
We
you
perceive
can,
our eyes are so good.
even a single wavelength difference can change the color. So that means you can see from 750 to 380 or 400, you are having so many numbers. So even a single change can make a large difference in the shades of red color.
So a single unit of wavelength.
Yes.
And our eye is able to detect it.
Yes.
And that's why we create such a, we women, we ladies, we create girls, create such a fuss that no, this is not matching with my dress, and I want another shade. So what I'm actually looking for is a different, a little slight difference in the color that it is reflecting.
Actually, in physics term, we don't call it as colors. We talk about the wavelengths.
We talk about wavelengths, which our eye perceives as
generally what we see, that is the visible spectrum.
Right.
That is having a definite wavelength. We can have a higher wavelength as well as lower wavelength.
Which our eye cannot perceive anymore.
Yes, exactly. Some of the animals have the capability of looking at a higher wavelength part also, and sometimes the lower part also.
So that is why we see that this dog has been able to see something.
Absolutely.
The dog can see a spirit or something, but
maybe that is because we are not we don't know about that, but we exactly know about like infrared binoculars or some type of instrument, optical instrument,
which can detect it.
Yeah, which we cannot see normally with the normal eyes, but you can see it through the infrared equipments. So these are some which makes us capable of looking beyond our visible range.
So that is the spectrum range which is so wide, is it?
Yes, absolutely, because it's a electromagnetic spectrum which has like the 7 different parts of that. It starts from, let's say, X-rays, and then gamma rays are also there.
Which
infrared,
we cannot see.
These are the things
X-ray and all that which we don't see, but we can see its action.
Yes, obviously. So these are something, but right now let us I wanted to explain one thing that you just asked me, that why this yellow color is there and how it is now fading out.
Yes, when you put it out in the sunlight, what is happening?
When this red color has been formed, now actually what happens that when you treat this fabric, let's say this stain is on a fabric, so when you treat this fabric with some more soap solution or even some diluted soap solution with water, so it's being a reversible reaction, it again forms curcumin, right? So from curcuminoid, it again forms curcumin, which means that its colors will go up from red to yellow. So it will appear less strained type of things, because reddish is more prominent and yellow will be less prominent. Now again, if you repeatedly you will be washing it out, so what happens, that particular curcumin will be somewhat what you can say, it will get more and more dissolved. So that's why its color starts fading up. Now when you put up this on sunlight, Now, what happens that when sunlight is exposed,
Let me get this clear. So when we are repeatedly washing it or we are even rubbing it, that is, I think, the action,
yes, the same
mechanical
thing.
action.
Yes, yes.
So what we are actually doing is we are breaking whatever remains, because not all molecules were broken initially.
Yes.
So with a little bit more detergent,
Right.
and maybe a little bit more rubbing and all, what we are doing actually is we are breaking more bonds.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
whatever
Right.
remnant had remained,
Right.
then,
Right.
so that again, this is how we do it. Repeatedly we wash it and we rub it. So we are actually breaking bonds.
Right.
And now this curcuminoid gives the shade becomes lighter and lighter.
Lighter and lighter.
And then when we put it out in sunlight,
The sun, because sun has the infrared radiation which produces heat. Now, when that heat falls on the fabric, this bond further breaks.
further break.
And when it breaks, it sometimes it also gets evaporated because of the heat, and that evaporates with the water molecules which is present in the fabric, right? So the fabric gets dried up and the strain also goes off. So literally we find that after some time or repeated washing, this fabric gets somewhat cleaned, free from the strains. This is the practical thing about what we are talking about. Yes.
So then this evaporation takes place.
Yes.
What we understand as evaporation.
Yes, because of the infrared radiation from the sun, and because of that, there is a
Change of state.
breaking
There's a
of
change
the
of state also.
Yes, there can be, obviously
What it
there
was
can
in liquid form, now it converts into gaseous form.
gaseous form. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
yes.
that is what we think as evaporation or drying. The clothes are
absolutely.
drying.
Yes,
We are seeing
absolutely,
it drying.
absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
actually evaporation of
Yes.
the damp, the moisture that is there in the
Right.
cloth.
Right, because
Right.
evaporation can happen at a certain range of temperature. It is
Right.
not required that you have to have a boiling point for that.
No, no, no.
So it has a range of, so the upper layer of the surface has to be there, which is changing the state, not the lower part of that.
Right.
So what is exposed to the sunlight will get evaporated, and that is what we are talking about, the strain, which generally remains on the upper part. So it gets evaporated or moves out, detached from the fabric along with the water molecules, and we say that it is evaporated or
It is evaporated, it is dried.
Yes.
Dried and the color is now gone. Finally it is left.
Yes, absolutely.
So fascinating and very interesting.
Ma'am, actually the thing is like already this reaction has been explained. I was only to tell you about
Yes.
some part of the physics.
Yes.
But I was looking at the reactions and everything. I am so fascinated about this reactions, and it is so complicated that from
Not
my
really. Once you look at it, it's not really complicated. It's in fact, I think, but it's very fascinating, very strange that from here there is only changes taking part in this middle part.
right,
This middle
right.
part of this compound. That this change is so significant.
Yes, very, very interesting, very interesting. Very interesting.
And there is
Actually, I
chemistry
was
part
aware of only the physics part of that, the color changes.
Color.
Now I am not able to understand that what is the chemistry part of the whole of the things.
So
Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining each and every part
So
of
now,
this.
yes,